Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loca here. Join me today as we sow some dahlia seeds. So let's go. I live in New Hampshire. I garden in USDA Zone 5B, and my average last frost date based on my zip code is around May 15th. Today is March 15th, and I'm about 9 weeks away from my average last frost date. When it comes to starting dahlias from seed, you want to start them about 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date. I'm starting these seeds a little bit earlier than that, and the reason is I plan on pinching the plants back at least once, and that will delay the bloom time. When it comes to pinching back plants, you don't do it with every plant out there. However, with dahlias, they benefit from being pinched, and the reason is it helps with branching, and more branching means more flowers. I didn't know if you knew this, but when it comes to starting dahlias from seed, eventually by the end of the season, that plant that you started from seed creates tubers. And those tubers can either be dug up at the end of the season or you can keep them in the ground and they'll come back for you year after year. It all depends on where you live. Dahlias are known to be hardy in USDA zones 8 through 11. Although some people have had their dahlias overwinter successfully in lower zones, usually in those zones you need to give them extra protection and care. I've never tried overwintering the dahlias in the ground. I dig them up every year and I store them in my unheated garage. I'll put a link to a video I made in the description that shows my process for storing my dahlia tubers over winter. When it comes to starting seeds, it's always based on your average last frost date. You don't want to base it on your growing zone. You might live in the same growing zone that I do, which is 5B, but our average last frost dates might be different. So it's very important to know when your average last frost date is, and then based on that, you count backwards when it comes to starting seeds. And if you don't know what your average last frost date is, check out the website link below, enter in your zip code, and there's also a map on there. And between those two things, you can find what your average last frost date is. Or you can just do a quick internet search by typing something like, when is my average last frost date? And then put in your location. Even though I do overwinter my dahlia tubers each year, I still enjoy the process of starting the plant from seed. In fact, I really enjoy collecting my own dahlia seeds. And I've made videos showing the process on how I collect the seeds. Now keep in mind, when you collect dahlia seeds, they're not going to produce an identical copy of the parent plant, but it's still fun to do. Dahlia seeds are fairly large in size, which makes it easy to find the seeds as well as handle them. When the seeds do germinate, they germinate sporadically over a period of about 2 weeks. With my dahlia seedlings, I usually have to pot them up about twice, and I usually pinch them back once during the time when I start them from seed until the plants go in the landscape. Even though dahlias come in lots of sizes, I really like this dwarf size because I can put those in different pots and containers. And a lot of times you'll find my dahlias in containers up along my front walkway. I have a lot of dahlia seeds, so let me show you all the seeds I have, and let's go ahead and sow some of the seeds together. You can see I have a lot of dahlia seeds. I will not be starting all of these seeds this year, but I do want to show you the seeds that I have. These are from Baker Creek, and they're called Dandy Improved. And again, you'll notice it says perennials zones 3 through 10. But it's my understanding that that doesn't necessarily mean that you can leave these tubers in the ground and that they would come back year after year. I just believe that they're a perennial if you take the tubers out of the ground, at least where I live in zone 5B. And then I can get my tubers to survive and come back next year. And this dahlia grows to be about 2 feet in height. And even though it says start the seeds indoors 4 to 6 weeks before the frost date, we're starting them a little bit earlier. It says the seeds will sprout in about 7 to 14 days. Ideal temperature is between 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Seed depth is about 1/8 of an inch. Here are the dahlias that I started from seed a number of years ago, and I've collected the tubers from them. The reason that I bought more seeds was I don't have all the colors that they show on this packet, so I would like to add to my collection. But I highly recommend this dahlia if you just want a nice, compact dwarf variety of dahlia, especially for pots and containers. So it says it's low growing and it's a bedding type of dahlia. Again, start the seeds about 4 to 6 weeks before your average last frost date. And like I mentioned earlier, the tubers that get created from this may be overwintered. And it's the similar information as what we already read earlier, just printed on the package here. The rest of these dahlias are all dahlias that I've collected over the last many years. This pile here, these are all the same type as these. They are just the dwarf variety. They were the very first dahlias that I ever started. I really haven't bought a ton of dahlia tubers. I really enjoy the process of starting them from seed. So these are all seeds that I collected from my Unwin's mixed dahlias. And then the rest of the seeds here are just seeds that I collected from different locations, from parks as well as from my friend's house. And I'm excited to at least give each of these seeds a try. I'll be running an experiment this year. I'll be sowing some of the seeds inside a seed starting mix, and I'll also be starting some of the seeds between a wet paper towel. Here I have some seed starting mix. I like to make my own seed starting mix, and I'll put a link to a video down in the description. It's basically 2 parts of peat moss, but you can use cocoa coir, to 1 part of very fine vermiculite. And then I add a small pinch of dolomite lime, which helps offset the pH of the peat moss. I also poured boiling hot water on my seed starting mix. You want to use pre-moistened seed starting mix, but also the boiling hot water helps kill any possible fungus gnat eggs that might be in here. When I squeeze my seed starting mix, notice there's no water dripping out. But when I let go, it's holding its form, and that's the right consistency that you want for your seed starting or potting mix. I like to start a lot of my seeds using seed starting mix. Since dahlia seeds are on the larger side, you can skip this step if you want to. You can go right to potting mix, but I prefer to use seed starting mix. I just feel like the seeds don't have to really fight with big chunky materials. But honestly, I think potting mix would also be fine with dahlia seeds. I like to use restaurant takeout containers because honestly, they're free to me and they make wonderful little greenhouses. In fact, this one has little vent holes in it, which is wonderful because in case it gets too hot in there. And I did make holes in the bottom of the container because you want to bottom water your seedlings. You don't ever want to water them from above because that can introduce all sorts of problems. So I'm going to go ahead and add my seed starting mix to my container. And now I'm going to press on the seed starting mix. I want to take out any air pockets that might be in there. I don't want to press too hard because I don't want to compact the seed starting mix too much. When it comes to seed starting, I do like to use garden markers because I find that they don't wear off as easily as a pen or a Sharpie. It's always a good idea to add labels when you're planting seeds, so I have one here for Dandy Improved. And just so I can remember when I planted these seeds, it's going to be March 15th. And I created additional labels over here, and you'll notice I have dividers in the middle too. I'm okay with planting a bunch of seeds in this container as long as they're all going to germinate around the same time. Since these are all dahlia seeds, I feel comfortable putting them all in one container like this. You don't want to plant different types of seedlings in one container because they all grow at different rates. So we'll start with the Dandy Improved. And you can see there were a lot of seeds in the seed packet. In fact, I've sown some of these seeds before, which is why the packet has already been opened. And I'm not going to start a whole bunch of them. We're just going to start a small handful. I'm just going to use a pen and I'm going to make holes where I'm going to be placing the seeds, and then we're going to cover them. Again, we just barely want them beneath the soil surface. Another way you could do this is you could scatter the seeds on the surface here, and then you could cover the seeds with a light layer on top. There are different ways to do the same thing. And I'm placing them all pretty close to each other because as soon as they germinate, they're going to be coming out of here and I'll be potting them up. And they can get potted up into a 6 cell pack, or you can even pot them up into something a little larger, like a 2 or 3 inch pot, because dahlias do grow pretty quickly once they germinate. So we just sowed 8 seeds here. That should be plenty. I'm going to go ahead and just cover them now. With the rest of these Dandy Improved seeds, I'm going to show you a separate method that I'm going to be trying as well. I don't know why, but whenever I used to do this method a number of years ago, I always used tin foil. You don't have to use tin foil. The big thing is it's nice to use something like a paper towel, and you want to scatter your seeds on there and try to space them out so they're not touching. I used to do this a long time ago, and I really enjoy this method, especially for larger seeds. Part of it is it's just fun to see when they germinate. And when my kids were little, I loved showing them what it looks like when the seeds would germinate. So now that we've done that, I can go ahead and I can fold this in half. And I'm just going to use this small hand pump sprayer. I'm going to spray this with a little bit of water, and I'll be checking on it. And if I notice it's starting to turn dry, I'll spray it with water again. You don't want to overspray it with water because you don't want to rot the seeds out. And I always then took my tin foil and just covered it like that. But I know when my mother-in-law used to do it, she would put it on a paper plate and she would just keep the paper towel just like that on a paper plate. I'm just covering it because I want to keep in the moisture. Again, there are a lot of different ways you can do this. Some people like to take it and put it inside of a Ziploc bag. And I'm just going to label it. So I'm writing Dahlia, D&D improved. And we just put the seeds in here on March 15th. And what I'll be doing with this is I'll just be checking them pretty much every day or every other day. And if I notice that this is starting to get dry, I can give it a spritz of water. But the key is as soon as I start seeing that a seed is starting to sprout or germinate, I can then take that seed and I can go ahead and sow it directly into a 6-cell pack or into a 2-inch or a 3-inch pot. It's just another fun way to basically get your seeds to sprout. And it's also a great way to check germination. If you have some old seeds and you're not sure how they're going to germinate, this is a great way to check it. So if let's say you had 10 seeds and only 3 germinate, that tells you have a 30% germination rate with those seeds. So just like we took the Dandy Improved and sowed some seeds in the container here, and then we also put those seeds and we put them inside of the paper towel, I'm going to do the same process with the unwinds mixed with a peach or salmon colored dahlia and then a yellow colored dahlia over here. And once I'm done with all these steps, I'll show you what's next. You'll notice that I pressed down on the seed starting mix, and the reason I did that is because I wanted to make sure that the seeds make good contact with the seed starting mix. Once the seeds start germinating and start creating roots, I want the roots to be able to anchor into the seed starting mix. I like to multi-sow my seeds in restaurant takeout containers because it saves a lot of room under my grow light. A lot of times we run out of space under our lights, so multi-sowing seeds like this initially saves room under the lights. And it also ensures that I'm only pricking out seeds that have germinated because you know how it is. Sometimes some seeds are not going to germinate. So why waste space under our grow lights? I will only be pricking out seeds that germinate and then I'll pot those up. So I'm just going to go ahead and spray this with a nice little spritz of water. Next, I'm going to add this cover. It's going to act as a humidity dome. But if you don't have something like this, you could take something like clear plastic wrap and put the clear plastic wrap on top of your container as well. Now I'm placing the restaurant takeout container on a seedling heat mat which stays on 24 hours a day in order to get the 70 to 75 degree Fahrenheit range. And notice I have my grow lights here. These are turned on 16 hours a day from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Remember, be patient. It might take 2 to 3 weeks to see some sort of germination. Once I see good germination, I will remove this container off of the heat mat, but I'll make sure that they're still under the grow lights because they will need that nice strong light. And again, with these guys, I'll be checking them daily. I'll be spritzing it with water if I need to. And as I see seeds germinating, I can go ahead and I can pot them up into 6-cell packs or even 2 or 3-inch pots. I'll be sure to keep you updated once the seeds have germinated, and then I'll show you my process for potting them up, pinching back the seedlings, giving them fertilizer, and then eventually getting the plants out in my landscape. What are some of your favorite dahlia varieties? And let me know if you've ever started dahlias from seed or if you've ever collected the seeds from your own plant. And until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.